Hey guys, welcome to Blogger's United. Welcome to another video. Today is a difficult kind of video to make. It's going to go back to that night at Anfield in the second leg of the Champions League against Liverpool. And I know that as fans of Barcelona, we don't want to remember that night. I honestly don't want to remember that night, but I think it's important because I think that if I've tried to make a point across this whole summer, it's being about things need to change, and yes, the players need to change some of their attitudes, the coach needs to change his mentality, the club overall needs to change the mentality in the direction that it needs to take. But I think as fans, if we don't make the right arguments, if we don't make the right statement or come to the right conclusion, then like I said, we have part of fault in what our team wins and when it loses. And if we don't make the right diagnostic and we start blaming faults on things that are actually not the point, then there is no hope for change in the right direction. If I make criticism to Barcelona, it's because I want them to win. If I'm awfully critical against Barcelona, it's because I want them to win. Because I want them to be the best version of themselves that I know they can be. I'm not asking them to do anything that they cannot do. I'm asking them to do what I know exactly they can do, which is compete to the highest level. And if you're going to lose with dignity. Lose being yourself. Playing with your legacy. Playing with a playstyle that has won us so much before. And I think it's important going back to the night at Anfield because it's just not being there's not been the right diagnostic from fans. I believe people when we said Junior Firpo, yes, I said it's a great signing, but people awfully come if Alba all of a sudden was a bad player and that it's his fault alone that we didn't win the Champions League. And if that's what you think, then you clearly did not watch the game. Because the reason, when we started losing at Anfield, when we start being okay by beating teams in the counterattack that we should be dominating. When we're okay by scoring one goal and the rest of the game just sitting back and counterattack. To not play with intensity. It is unbelievable, and this is very, very, very this was a very harsh comment from Frankie de Jong, but he's completely right. He's saying along the lines of, "Oh, we need to be better. We need to be much better. It was a great win, but we need to be much better when we play against Arsenal. We need to play with much more intensity. We need to press higher up the pitch. We need to press with much more intensity. We need to move the ball a lot faster." And this leaves just an example of he's comparing his experience of playing with Ajax to playing to Barcelona. And now you can see the difference. He notices a complete difference because he goes from moving the ball to the speed of light to moving the ball slowly. If it's not Ricky Puig that he's playing with, the ball's moving slowly, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards. Once you score the goal, you sit back and counter. Obviously he notices the difference. He came here to, play the best Barcelona football that we've ever seen, and he's playing the Barcelona Madrid style. And this is not Cruyffism. Don't get it confused. This has nothing to do with the Cruyffism. And I'm getting off topic now, but going back to the point, we didn't lose at Anfield because of Jordi Alba. Hell, we didn't lose at Anfield because the player got distracted on a corner. We lose at Anfield because we're okay with sitting back and counterattack the whole season, and the moment that you need to show your intensity and play well, you're not able to because the whole season you've been preparing yourself to sit back and counter and absorb pressure. And the thing is that we don't have the players to absorb the pressure. We don't have tall, strong, athletic center midfielders. And that is exactly why taking Arturo Vidal in the second leg was an absolute disgrace. Because the one player that we have for that role, you go and take him on the pitch because the other guy that you can't take off because he almost went to Paris Saint-Germain, and you had to convince him by giving him every single minute of every single game of the season past season. Like, this is like, Rakitic had a good game in my opinion against Arsenal, but that doesn't make any difference that he needs to go. If Coutinho would have scored a hat-trick against Liverpool, that doesn't mean anything. He still needs to go. Hell, if we would have won the treble, criticism still needs to happen. Because you can't be basing like a season alone on results. And I understand, yes, results overall are the most important thing. But you cannot be judging only on results, because if you're doing that and you're playing horribly, there's gonna get a point where your results are gonna stop happening for you. You're gonna start getting the nice results because maybe things are going in your way. There's a good dynamic of group, but once you start losing, there's no way of getting off that. You're depending yet only on your play. Let's put it this way: Real Madrid. A lot of people are blaming that it's because of Cristiano Ronaldo that they did not win the Champions League this season, that they had a bad season. And if that's your diagnostic, then I don't know what rock you've been living under, or if you have been watching any games, because Real Madrid were playing the same way, that they were with the same amount of intensity that they were playing when they won the Champions Leagues. Different being that goalkeepers are not falling to the floor anymore, Karius is not giving you any more assists, or failing to, I don't know, do something with a ball that's coming like 40 yards away from him, from a shot of Gareth Bale, that you're not scoring 2 bicycle kicks in the same Champions League, that you don't have a magical comeback against Wolfsburg all of a sudden, that you happen to play Napoli finishing second in your group while Barcelona had to play PSG finishing first, that you get a magical penalty against Juventus in the last second of the game, that Bayern Munich deserves to be spanking you in one of the games, and you all of a sudden happen to get two counterattacks that were offside, or a game where Bayern Munich is attacking you so much that they generate probably four times more chances than you during the whole leg. Like, yes, once those things stop happening, because this is the point. My mirror, my example cannot be trying to do trying to play like Real Madrid tried to play, because I'm not gonna get the amount of luck that Madrid get. It's not a thing. It's never been a thing for Barcelona. Barcelona has only won the Champions League when they've played at their best. To put it in a better example, Barcelona, if they're not winning another trophy, they're not winning. Like, when we've won the league is when we've also won the Champions League. Let's put it that way. Only when we are the best version of ourselves is when we can win the Champions League. If we don't do that, then be prepared. Be prepared to have another Paris, another Turin, another Roma, and another Liverpool. This will continue to happen and happen and happen and happen. Next is going to be Real Madrid, probably, that's going to knock us out. And after that, Manchester City. And who even knows, maybe Tottenham Hotspur is going to grab us in a quarterfinal and knock us out too. Like, things need to change, but if you're not making the right diagnostic, then it just doesn't make any sense, and you're not going to make any progress. Alba didn't have the fault of the whole knockout. Like, yes, unfortunately he made a mistake. He's only human. But let me tell you who else made a mistake during that game. Messi, Ter Stegen, Coutinho, Suarez, Busquets, Semedo, Piqué, Lenglet, Arturo Vidal, Rakitic, Sergio Roberto. Everyone in that game made a mistake at one point during the match. Yet I don't see anyone awfully criticizing anyone else on Jordi Alba when, yes, he tried to head the ball back, and so that's probably something you shouldn't have done. But he is not a specialist playing with his head. He was on a place under pressure, and the reason that he made a mistake is he was forced to a mistake. It's not a mistake like the one that Maitland-Niles made against Liverpool yesterday. It's a mistake that was forced by the opponent, because Liverpool, that they played against Newcastle a few days before that game, and we pretty much rested against Celta Vigo. They came with so much more intensity than us, and you're blaming that on Jordi Alba? You're blaming that we have everything to just score a goal, and you're blaming on Jordi Alba that we didn't go through. That doesn't seem fair to me. Like, that game, we shouldn't have been 3 up at any point during the leg. Like, in the first leg, we scored 3 goals and we were completely worse than Liverpool. Like, we should have lost that game. Like, Milner missing an easy chance, Salah hitting the post, shots, like multiple chances going everywhere and Barcelona that generated very little. All of a sudden score a goal. Like, Jordi Alba put a magical pass to Suarez, and that's a goal. Messi gets a weird rebound. Van Dijk makes a little mistake that he hadn't make a single one of the season, and that's 2-0. And then Lionel Messi hits probably the best free kick of the season, and it goes in, and that's 3-0 for you. Collectively, you didn't do anything. You were just lucky. Like, if Liverpool would have lost the tie against Barcelona, do you think they would be going on Virgil van Dijk for falling asleep on that goal? No, because he made a mistake, but he's been superb the whole season, and one mistake doesn't tarnish the whole season for you. Like, Alba is the best fullback in the world right now. Marcelo is clearly off his level. Robertson, he's been great. He's been amazing. Very close to Jordi Alba, but Jordi Alba's still been a notch ahead of him. And so he has been, of everyone else, he is the best fullback in the world right now. Left or right back, he's the best fullback in the world. And if you can't recognize that, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, the normal thing, it would have been that in that second game we would have scored a goal because we had chances for it. It's just that we couldn't put anything in. Like, let's put another example. Real Madrid, second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-finals. Barcelona 3, Real Madrid 0. You know how many shots on target we had that game? We had 2, and yet we scored 3 goals because of a Rafael Varane deflection. Is this how you want to be winning games? By depending on luck? Because it's not going to happen. Because we saw, when your luck runs out, you have nothing else. If basically you're not depending on Messi doing one of his Messi-esque things, or if you can't find Jordi Alba with, we have nothing. And we've seen it the whole preseason. Without Messi, going forward, we don't have anything because we haven't prepared the team to play to that level of intensity. And be prepared, because this season it's going to be horrendous. I can already tell. Like, once the transfer window closes, and I suspect that Rakitic and Coutinho are going to stay at Barcelona unless a miracle happens, I'm going to make my predictions for the league. And I'm telling you, Barcelona do not win this league. Or at least they do not win the Champions League. That's for sure. That they don't win the Champions League, that's for sure. If Coutinho and Rakitic stay, that's for sure that we don't win the Champions League. I'm telling you that right now. And yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, if you only like the results, if you're only happy by the results of just winning the Champions League, then don't be a Barcelona fan. Be a Real Madrid fan and don't watch the games. Trust me. If you only like winning, then don't watch the games. You can watch the highlight, a 10-minute highlight in YouTube, and get the results on the game from the web, and then you're saving yourself 2 hours of your life every week. You're much better off doing that. Because if you don't like football, then don't watch football. Just say that. Just watch the result and be like happy when your team wins, and when your team loses, then be destructive. Because that's what Real Madrid fans are. They were all fine while they were in the Champions League, but some of them didn't make the criticism that was needed, and now, with 68 points in the league, with 12 losses during the league, over a third, or pretty much a third of your games you lost. That is embarrassing. That is not okay. I have to say that it makes me very concerned that we're making the wrong diagnostics for this, because it is very important to recognize where the mistakes have been, and it's not being fault of Jordi Alba, it's not being fault of Messi, hell, it's not even being fault of Coutinho, it's not being fault of Valverde. It's being fault of accepting winning like crap, but winning at any cost against Celta, Villarreal, Betis, Real Sociedad, Athletic Club, Ter Stegen having to make miracle saves every single weekend, Messi depending on Messi basically, and if there's no Messi, then let's hope there's luck. Coutinho and Dembele, it's fine that they're fighting for opposition, even though one was brought to be the new Iniesta. Semedo playing fantastically the whole season, and as soon as Sergio Roberto comes back from an injury, he all of a sudden displaces him from the starting 11. Piqué being okay with playing every single minute of the season, and we're not able to bring Matthijs de Ligt to the club. What else? Rakitic saying my place is secure for next season. Like, this is where the problem is. By not being critical enough, by not accepting that things are not right, even if you're winning. Yes, the league is very important, and like Messi said in the John Gamper Trophy, time will give those 8 league titles in 11 years their merit, because there is a lot of merit in them. But things must improve in order for us to be the best version of ourselves. Regardless of the results, regardless of what we win, I'm sure that results would come along if we are the best thing or the best version of ourselves. So with all said and done, leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think about that game in Liverpool? I've watched it multiple times. I've seen now more of like what things need to change in order for us to improve, for Barcelona to be better, because I just want them to play well, because I know playing well, all the results will come along eventually. Leave me your opinions on what do you think needs to be done for the remainder of the transfer window. Do you think that we're gonna have a successful season? Do you think that Jordi Alba needs to be, I don't know, sold or something, that he's not good enough? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Blaugranas.